is a beautiful Tuesday morning, the 3rd of December 2024, and the time is exactly 40 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. Greetings to you, the GIC community, within and beyond the borders of the Republic of Namibia, and a very warm welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Offices, Ministries and Agencies Information Sharing Session. For this morning's session, I am your host, Heleni Felepo Samunyela, and we, as always, are coming to you live from the Government Information Center. Now, for this morning's episode, we are talking registration and placement of job seekers on the NEAS system. And to help expound more on the topic, I am joined in the studio by representatives from the Ministry of Labour, Industrial Relations and Employment Creation, and they are going to help shed more light on this topic. But before I welcome them officially to this morning's session, I would like to extend an invitation to you, Namibia, to be part of this discussion by following the conversation on our social media platforms, where we are currently streaming this show live. On Facebook, we are at Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, or alternatively, you can stream us live on our YouTube channel, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. Be part of this discussion and add your voice to this discussion by posting your questions in the comment sections on our social media platforms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto the platform this morning Mr. Arnold Ngema. He is the Chief Employment Officer in the Ministry of Labour. Good morning, sir, once again, and welcome to the GIC.
Good morning, Ms. Heleni. Please, I feel very much welcome to this Government Information Center to come shed light on the registration as well as the placement of job seekers in the country.
Okay. And joining us this morning as well is Ms. Helena Itelenga, and she's an employment officer in the Ministry of Labour, Industrial Relations and Employment Creation. Mrs. Itelenga, good morning and welcome to the GIC.
Good morning, Ms. Samuela, and thank you for having me.
Right. Now, Mr. Ngema, I'd like to start with you. For the benefit of our viewers, who is NEAS? When was it established? And what necessitated the establishment of this initiative?
Thanks very much for the questions. Perhaps maybe before I start with the direct answering to the questions, I would like to say the public employment services existed prior to independence in this country, during at which time the services were provided on a manual basis, and submission of job seeker CVs and job seeker registration were done through a manual-based process, and also we also received post vacancies advertised by employer. These were also delivered to the bureau through manual basis. So we did not have an electronic database to store and capture information. So as a result, we had a very cumbersome process, though we were able to successfully and efficiently also be able to assist the job seekers in their query with regard to job opportunities that are in the country. So as a result, immediately after independence, we also proceeded with the manual job seeker registration form. But then during 2011, the government of Namibia promulgated the Employment Services Act, number 8 of 2011. Now, when this act was promulgated, then it has come with specific aspects. One was to give birth to an integrated employment information system in the country as part of the implementation of the act. So as a result, then the ministry then, through the mandate of the Act, then established the Namibia Integrated Employment Information System that we today call the NEAS. The main purpose was to collect information of job seekers in the country, information of employers, to capture vacancies on the system, These are vacancies that are being posted by now that we have moved from a manual database. Now we have that advantage of having an electronic database. So now the employer have now the advantage to now post vacancies on the system. Job seeker have an advantage to post their applications, CVs, and so on. So the collections of data through the NIES is the CVs, vacancies, and to upload their qualifications, and also for the employers, they are also required to upload their company profile. That is now the whole structures of their companies, indicating various positions and so on. So that is the main aspect with regard to NIES. And training opportunities are also uploaded. Internship programs are also uploaded. So and then as a consequence, in 2011, NIES then was developed, and then it was then rolled out in 2012. When the rollout was done, it was done in 5 regions. It was a successful pilot. It was in 5 regions, and then after the pilot was done, we had a registration of 25,000 job seekers that were registered during that time.
Wow! During the pilot?
During the pilot period. So which was a massive registration within a very short period of time. And then from there, now we have to roll out, because obviously now you are done with the pilot. Now then we have now to roll out the system and to implement. So it was a successful story because now we have already tested. So and now the system is now functioning very well after the rollout was now done.
Right.
So I think so. And then maybe to the other aspect, maybe to indicate for fairness, the legal instrument that governs and regulates public employment services in Namibia is the Public Employment Services Act. And also the regulations that we have. We've got the regulations for designated employers, and we also have regulations for public-private employment agencies. So to actually ensure that they are complying with the various provisions that are within the Act and regulation as well.
Okay. All right. Now, away from that, Ms. Ithelenga, how many job seekers and employers do we have registered on the NIES system?
Thank you very much. So far, milestones are achieved. As we said, it was rolled out on the 2013. So far, 221,000 job seekers are registered in our NIES portal. 200,000? 200,000.
Oh, 200,000.
Yes, 21 and 6,000 they registered in our NIES portal. And we are also registered employers, and so far 27,000 employers are also registered in our NIES portal. Yeah, and in that system is where also we placed job seekers for the different institutions for placement for jobs. Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ngama, back to you. How do job seekers or employers actually access or register the NIES portal?
The NIES portal is an online-based registration portal where it can be accessed through those that have got Wi-Fi and those that have got internet. So that is now online based. So meaning you can access the NIES wherever you are at your own comfort, whether it's at your house or wherever you are, as long as you have a device that is connectable to a Wi-Fi or an internet. And then we have got those job seekers who would not have access to internet facilities as well as Wi-Fi facilities. So these job seekers, then they are required because we conduct awareness programs and so on throughout the quarters, and we give information that those who do not have access to the nearest, they should come visit our offices so that they fill manual forms, application forms, and then they get registered on the near system. We have close to 13 offices across the country in all the regions we are represented. So those who do not have access, they can always visit our office, and they also do visit our offices for registration purposes. So I think that is the only way how we can do it. And the system is accessible, as I said, on our mobile phones. So that is possible, is a possibility that can be done. And please do visit our office. We have many offices in each and every region we are represented, and you can be assisted.
Okay. Now, given that we are in this new digital era where you don't physically have to be at a certain office to be able to access certain services like you earlier mentioned, it just shows that the Ministry of Labor is also on par with the rest of the world as far as, ensuring that digitalization is actually part and parcel of our daily lives, meaning that, like earlier mentioned, you don't need to be there. You can access this from Okamatapati, somewhere in the Hangwena region or Kunene or wherever it is that you are. You can register and be part of this exercise. I wanted to find out from you, from your personal experience, has this been, do you think it is working? I know earlier on we mentioned that we have about 25,000, is it 20,021 registered job seekers. For efficiency's sake, do you think this is actually working well and has replaced the manual way of job seeking? Do you think it's efficient?
Yeah, it's very much efficient because this has been an improvement. Because now we are able to match supply of job seeker through the demand. We can be able to link job seeker profile to vacancy that has been advertised right on the portal because it's now electronical, and then it's easy to retrieve applications of job seekers per requirements that have been set, because it's easy when you are working with a database. A database can lead you to the information that you want, and as a result, then you can be able to link that information to the requirement that is required. For example, you have got an advertisement that is running by an employer, and then it set requirements. Based on those requirements, it's easy for you to be able to insert those requirements and then get the information that you want. That is more differently done as opposed to a manual application form where you are unable to do those retrievement, where you now can maybe take an hour in order to do one retrievement. But on the online job seeker registration form, it will take you a minute in order to retrieve information that you want.
You simply just matchmaking.
Yes.
Okay. That is good to hear. Now, Ms. Ithalenga, talk to us about what type of documentations are actually required for these job seekers or employers to be able to access or to register for this on the portal, actually. Or rather, if the question is not clear, it's, I'm saying, what documents are actually necessary or required for job seekers as well as the employers to register on this system?
Okay, for the job seekers, they just require to have their curriculum vitae, certified copies of identification documents, and referral letters or testimonial, and driver's license when applicable. And to the employers, they just required to have the registration certificate with BIPA, and also the tax certificates and the company or institution profile.
Okay. Yeah. If you can just please repeat for me the employer's required documents.
Registration certificate, they have to register with BIPA.
Yes.
And then the tax certificate.
With social, okay.
Yeah, and the company or institution profile.
Okay.
It's just the required from them, and then they are just they are just registered on the portal, and then the job seekers, because we registered the employers for them to upload the vacancies that they have in their establishment in NIES portal. And then the job seekers now, they can also pop up in the portal, and then they check those vacancies that is uploaded in the system, and then they can also apply themselves online.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Itelenga, is there any cost implications for this registration, or is it free of charge?
No, our service is free of charge.
For both the employers as well as the job seekers?
Yes, we cannot charge anything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Namibia, if you are just tuning in, you are watching the Officers, Ministries and Agencies Information Sharing Session coming to you live from the Government Information Center studio, and that is with me, Hileni Felepe Samunyela. And for this morning's edition, we are talking registration and placement of job seekers on the NIES system, and I am joined in the studio by representatives from the Ministry of Labor, Industrial Relations and Employment Creation, and they are here to help expound more on this topic and of course to provide you with the nitty-gritty information that you may require as far as placement and job seeking is concerned, or registration with the NIES system in the Ministry of Labor. And you too can be part of this discussion by following the conversation on our social media platforms, where we are currently streaming this show live. And on Facebook, we are at Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, or alternatively, you can also stream us live on our YouTube channel, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. I'm keen to hear from you. Do post your questions in the comment sections on our social media platforms and add your voice to the conversation, whether it's just, a statement that you have observed and you would want my guests to note. Now, back to our discussion, Mr. Ngama, I'd like to find out from you. We live in a digital era, yes, like earlier mentioned, and I know you have mentioned that we are away from the manual. For somebody like on the grassroots levels, let's say deep in the villages, what measures are there to ensure that these people are also not left out? Because when we preach, especially in the Harambee House, we preach inclusivity. What measures are in place to ensure that these people are also part and parcel of this? They don't maybe have access to let's say the Wi-Fi or internet connection, and perhaps they are also away from, the offices. What measures are there to ensure that they are also included?
We have various programs as part of our awareness campaign initiatives of our ministry. What happens? We conduct outreach programs. The outreach programs, they are intended to reach out to constituencies, rural-based constituencies, where we have our job seekers who do not have access to the online system. We engaged with regional constituencies. We arrange offices there, and we go on radios, and then we announce, and then the job seekers, they gather at one point, and then we conduct registrations on a manual basis, and then later we upload the documents on the NIES system. So that is what we actually do. So to provide actually the opportunity so that they are not left out. So that is one of the mechanisms, and it works very well. We reach out to all the constituencies in the country, region by region, and we ensure that each and every constituency is covered, and all the job seekers on the systems so that they are not being left out if there are opportunities for employment in the nearest future.
Okay. And at this point in time, we can confidently say that there are footprints of the Ministry of Labour in each of the 14 regions.
Correctly, as you are saying, we are very much visible. We are all over. We have representatives in all the regions, as I said. So it's easy to interact with the stakeholders. So that our services are being provided. Okay. Our employment officer also in those constituencies, they also very much also go to radio stations which are there, so that they also take the message further. Okay. And we are visible, we are well represented. We travel out, we reach constituencies, and we ensure that our services reach out to each and every person.
Okay. Duly noted. Ms. Ithelenga, I'm keen to know, how long does it take for a job seeker, let's say hypothetically speaking, they may be registered in August and they are really looking to find a job. How long does it take for a job seeker to find a job through the portal of NIS?
Okay. Thank you for the question. And before I go to the question, I just want to elaborate a bit what my chief said. Like here in Commerce, in Windhoek, yes, we have a center. Okay. We call it a center where we register, where the people, the job seekers come, and then they give their CVs. Okay. We help them, employment officers. And we just do, in the morning, we normally register job seekers. And then on the afternoon, there are people who don't have access for maybe a smartphone, and then they can come, and from 2 o'clock, we do a job hunting. Okay. The job seekers, they can come to the center, and then they can check in the system what vacancies that is available. Then they can apply online. Okay. Or us also, we can refer them as a employment officer.
Okay. Maybe whilst on that, where is this center situated?
It is just in the ministry for now.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe in the meantime we will be just nearby there. Okay. But now they can just come to the ministry. There is a center where we can help them. Okay. Okay. To come to your question. There is no time period. Okay. It is all depend to the availability of the job and the suitability of the candidates in the NIS portal. Okay. Yes.
All right. Now, Ms. Tangama, the information that you are dealing with is quite sensitive. We are dealing with documents, identification documents of individuals. We are dealing with personal information that is articulated on their curriculum vitae and everything else, driver's license and everything. How safe is the NIS portal, and how can these applicants be assured that their information is indeed in safe hands?
The NIS system is hosted at the office of the Prime Minister, OPM. Okay. And as a result, security systems have been implemented to ensure that there are no leakages of information into private individuals. Okay. Our employment officers, they have been well trained. They have been well trained to ensure that they should not leak any informations, and also the information of employer, they cannot be able to be altered by any other person. This can only be visible by the employer themselves or either by the job seeker themselves. Okay. So the system have got an inbuilt functionality that actually ensure that there are no access to employers' information on the system. Okay. The security based has been beefed up, and to ensure the effectiveness and efficiency of confidentiality in terms of the information that we collect. So I think there shouldn't be too much worries on that aspect. As I said, we are linked with OPM, and obviously through that office, the institutionalization of the security measures, they are up to standard, and that is what we follow.
Okay. Ms. Ithelenga, earlier on you mentioned that there can be a job hunting at the Resource center, as earlier mentioned. Now, I wanted to find out, this job hunting, does it have perhaps the information, the details of the employer, or do I just go there and match with my skills that I, for example, come in and I know I'm looking for a communications job, and then I come and I scan through if there's anything for communication. Is there any information pertaining to the employer that is currently having an opening in that division or department?
To answer the question.
Okay, so I'm saying, for the job hunting criteria, when I come into the resource center and I'm looking for a job, let's say in the communications fraternity, and I come there and you have the list of jobs that are available, does it already show that there is, for example, is the filters that shows that, for example, there is maybe 5 jobs in the communications division or fraternity, or is how do you actually do this job hunting? Do you want to expound?
Yes.
Okay.
The system or at the job centers,
yes.
Job seekers are required to come for the purpose of registration,
okay,
as well as for the purpose of job hunting.
Okay.
So these are the two things. And we are saying for job hunting is done in the afternoon, registration is done in the morning.
Okay.
So now what happens when the job seeker visit our job centers for the purpose of job hunting, they indicate what is it that they want. Sometimes they tell you, no, I've seen a vacancy that has been advertised through Nampower,
okay,
or through brewery. And then from there we have to log onto the systems. And then through the system, then we can be able to pick up that vacancies. And then we can then link the job seeker profile to that vacancies,
okay,
so that it can be considered for placement possibilities.
okay.
So those possibilities are there for when they come to visit our offices. We can scroll down and see what is it that they are looking for, and then we can be able to match their profiles with the vacancy that has been advertised.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for that information. I'm sure it serves as a benefit for somebody who's watching now and is keen in knowing how the process actually goes. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually come to the end of our discussion this morning. I would like to thank you so much for taking time away from your busy schedules to come and educate us on the NIAS system. It is really very highly appreciated. But maybe before I conclude, I'd like to give you, of course, this chance to give your final remarks with regards to the NIAS. What do you have to tell the nation pertaining to NIAS? Of course, there is so much impact that NIAS is affecting in the community. What are your final remarks to the Namibian nation?
The unemployment rate in the country is very high, we know very well.
Yes.
And the only possibility for the ministry to ensure some aspect of reduction is by way of job seeker to register on the NIAS system, so that there are possibilities for them to be placed in various industries, yes, or employers who advertise their vacancies. And also for the employers, it is cost effective and free for you to advertise through the NIAS, instead of advertising in the newspaper where you are going to be charged a lot of money. So let us make use of the NIAS, where we have free services in terms of uploading our vacancies on the NIAS system. In that way, we will be able to reach out to a large base, because the NIAS system is viewed by many people. Okay. So I would encourage that let us make use of the NIAS system. It's a government platform where we are all required to advertise our vacancies, and and also to ensure that once we do advertising on notify the bureau, then we are also creating employment for our job seekers who are registered on the NIAS system, and we are also struggling to get employment in the country.
Right. Okay. Before I hand over to Ms. Ifelenga, there was just a question on our social media. They wanted to know, is this initiative primarily only for government, state, let's say, is it government jobs, or is it also inclusive of the private sector? job seeking?
The initiative is for all employers, private and public, because the law, it requires that all the employers in the country that were designated who have 10 employees within the establishment, they should report vacancies to the ministry. So that includes now public and private. So to upload their vacancies on the new system.
Okay. Thank you so much. Ms. Telenga, you have the last words.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to tell the public, especially the youth and the graduates, to make use of our system. Our system is user-friendly, and then to register. And the other thing, what I want to add is that we still have, because as we said, this system is come long way back. And we have some other job seekers that they are in the system, but they don't have a resume. They need to come and visit our office so that they can update their resumes. And some, they are even lost. They are no more using their contact detail that when they registered, they don't have it. They can come and update their informations. Thank you.
All right. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me this morning. We really very highly appreciate it. Namibia, that is all the time we had for today's discussion. Do join us again tomorrow when we bring you another fruitful discussion here at the GIC. From myself, Hileni Felepe-Samunyela, the entire GIC production crew, until tomorrow, take care.